Coming up on Mountain News this morning, humanities programs in the Commonwealth face cuts from DOGE, hurting projects aimed at preserving the history of Kentucky. And a new program wants to create lifelong learners by making sure children are ready for kindergarten.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Thursday, April 17th. It's 6 o'clock this morning. Hope you are wide awake, but I know who is. Meteorologist Megan Dusmall. She is up and ready this morning. And we've had that cold weather, Megan, but maybe some hope for some warm temperatures today.
We sure do have both of those elements in the forecast. Cold this morning, you'll need that jacket. And then as we head into the afternoon, you can take that jacket off because we're expecting a significant warm up into the 70s, which we haven't seen for a while. So excited for that. Here's what you need to know as you head out the door, though. Those temperatures, I'm not playing around. They're chilly. We're mainly sitting in the 30s this morning, hitting freezing right now, 32 degrees in Boonville. And we'll continue to see those temperatures drop for the next little bit before we warm up into the afternoon with temperatures getting into the upper 60s and yes, low 70s, seeing 73 for Manchester and Harlan, and even warmer weather is on the way as you're going through the next couple of days. Satellite radar is nice and clear, seeing those clouds starting to roll into the area. We're going to see some cloudy conditions as we're heading into the evening hours, but here's a look at what you can expect for the day again. We're going to have those cooler temperatures warming up in the afternoon, seeing cloud cover increasing throughout the day. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. More cuts to federal funding are putting humanities programs in Kentucky at risk. This is just one of the many funding cuts by the Department of Government Efficiency that we've covered in recent weeks. Alyssa Williams checked in with several organizations yesterday about how this new round of cuts could impact our communities.
Many may say humanities help to shape who we are.
What we also say in return is that humanities is really what makes us all human.
But now, countless organizations across the nation that promote humanities are at risk of disappearing.
To read a termination letter and find out that overnight, a budget which allows us to provide many programs across the Commonwealth has been cut to zero.
Earlier this month, Kentucky Humanities Executive Director Bill Goodman learned funding from the National Endowment for the Humanities, or NEH, had been completely cut. He says the money they receive has gone to hundreds of programs that focus on history, culture, and literacy.
We're in the dilemma right now of trying to figure out if we can survive, how long we can survive.
Chad Hunter with Media Arts and Education Center Appalshop says funding from the NEH has been going towards restoring countless recordings and artifacts damaged during 2022's flooding. But this cut means all restoration efforts have been halted.
Our flooded collections are at these laboratories with work paused, and so they are actively degrading. So it's the collection that suffers, it's Appalshop, it is the public and history that suffers, because we're talking about the largest collection of media pertaining to Appalachia in the world.
Both Goodman and Hunter say they're working to evaluate what changes need to be made to continue the work they're doing.
So we're not giving up hope. We believe that there's a path forward.
Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
Hunter says in a letter from the NEH, they were told their funding was terminated because their grant no longer fits the agency's needs and priorities of the grants agreement. It also says the NEH is repurposing its funding in a new direction that furthers the president's agenda. Another new federal lawsuit is aiming to reinstate visas for hundreds of college students and staff members. The Trump administration revoked more than 600 international student visas earlier this month, including some at UK. This lawsuit filed in Atlanta claims the Department of Homeland Security used traffic stops and dismissed cases to justify revoking visas. It hopes to stop cancellation for these students and reinstate visas that were already revoked. A new initiative is helping Eastern Kentucky children get a head start before they even step into a classroom. WYMT's Caroline Mueller tells us how the Bright Start Explorers program is working to improve kindergarten readiness.
With kindergarten readiness still recovering from the impact of the pandemic, a new program called Bright Start Explorers is aiming to help close the gap.
Bright Start Explorers is particularly exciting because it brings together 3 top-notch partners in one comprehensive early learning strategy. The three partners are Parent Powered, Raising a Reader, and Waterford Upstart. And any one of those partners could bring about early learning gains all on their own. They have a proven track record of doing that.
Families of 4-year-olds receive books, weekly texts with simple activities, and access to an online learning platform. If they need a tablet or internet access, it is provided for free.
Students who enter kindergarten with social emotional skills, academic gains, are just much more likely to be successful in school for many more years after that.
In Harlan County, educators say that kind of early exposure makes a noticeable difference.
You can always tell when kids have been to preschool and when they've had really strong learning experiences from their parents or in their home. The kids come in, they're ready to receive instruction. They don't need quite as much instruction on procedures of the room.
Director of Preschool Programs for Harlan County Schools, Leah Coots, says many children enter kindergarten behind, but programs like this one can help close that gap.
Over half of our students traditionally come to us in kindergarten, not kindergarten ready.
Coots added if that number can drop by 10 to 20%, it would be a drastic improvement for classroom instruction. In Harlan County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
The program is open to children who will be 4 years old by July 31st and not entering kindergarten this fall. More details are on our website, WYMT.com. The first female Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court was sworn in on Tuesday. Chief Justice Deborah Lambert was elected to the position back in September. The Bell County native served as a justice for the Supreme Court from the 3rd Supreme Court District. Francis Diner in downtown Hazard reopened yesterday morning. That was 2 months after it was flooded. Customers were at the door at 7 a.m. ready to get their breakfast fix. Francis was also there, excited to see her customers and serve food once again.
Welcome everybody back, and I miss them, and I love them very much.
To see them reopen, we talked to our kids at practice yesterday. It shows a lot of perseverance and a lot of toughness, and you know, they didn't have to reopen this place, but they knew how important it was to Hazard.
Bo Duke himself, John Schneider, was also a customer yesterday. Francis Diner is open 7 days a week for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Organizers in Clay County are gearing up for one of its annual festivals. Clay County Days runs from May 29th through the 31st in Manchester. The headliner at this year's festival will be country music singer Aaron Tippin. There will also be micro wrestling. Folks can expect food, vendors, car shows, a turkey calling contest, and even more fun.
Today is yet again another dry day, so definitely looking forward to that break from the rain. We're looking at satellite and radar right now, and not even a cloud is in the sky as we go through the next couple hours. That will change, though. More clouds are going to be rolling into the region as we head closer to the afternoon and evening. This morning, though, temperatures are chilly. We're talking 30s across the area, still having that frost advisory in effect for most of the counties in our region as we're going throughout the morning hours, but temperatures will definitely make a big change as we're heading into the afternoon with highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. Now, through the next couple hours, again, we'll still be cold, but by the time we get to about 5 o'clock, that's when we'll hit the high temperatures of the day, looking at cloudy skies in the afternoon and evening hours. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. We have more news on the way. There was a stark warning from the Fed chair yesterday as financial experts worry tariffs could lead to an economic slowdown.